I have quite a significant amount of gentlemen that watch me, especially on the younger side. And I definitely see you guys' DMs whenever you guys send me a DM on Instagram or you guys leave comments. It's not like I'm extremely famous, so I have the means to do it. It's not like I'm bombarded by hundreds and thousands of comments to where I miss them. I see them. And it's very comforting knowing that there are some young men that are under 20 years old or even in the early 20s that watch me and listen to what I have to say. And the reason that I find it so comforting is because I didn't really have a masculine role model in my life. Now, for anyone that knows my story, you know that I grew up in a house where I had both mother and father. But my father wasn't necessarily the ideal masculine image of who I wanted to be like. And so my parents, they ended up divorcing and they split. And well, I have a half brother. My father, he had two wives. And so he had my brother first and then me. We didn't grow up together. But across my life, something that was extremely challenging for me was finding a masculine role model. I went to the military and I used to look up to any man that was older than me because I associated age with wisdom at the time. So anyone, if you're older than me, you know more than me. I need guidance and I'm willing to if I was 18, I was willing to look at someone that was 19 just for some guidance. Like that I was very lost. Not saying that that's inherently bad, but I just didn't know what direction is, so I chose every direction. I looked at all types of men. Like, what can you teach me? Help me become a man. It was very difficult. So if you're a young man, I need you to try to watch this video from beginning to end because I'm going to cover some very important steps in your life and things to avoid and things to look out for and things that you should probably focus on that'll slow you down, that'll speed you up. And you're going to go through these phases in life. And I'm going to try to tackle all of them according to the phases in my life. And if it sounds familiar, if it sounds like something that you've been through, hey, take it, run with it. If it doesn't sound like it, discard, just forget about it. In our early stages, we have something called adolescence, where we might be in school. This might be ages anywhere from 14 to 23. Or you know what, 13 to 18. I'll say after high school, things change a little bit. So we'll call this your adolescence, your young adulthood. Not even that, your teenage years. In these stages, I'm not really too sure what you value. But for me, what I valued when I was around 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 was I valued the opinions of others. What teenage kid doesn't want to have the school look at him like he's some sort of holy king? What teenage kid would not want all the girls at the school to be obsessed with them? What teenage kid wouldn't want that? I wanted it. So I would dress a certain way, try to look cool. I would copy what other people would wear. I mean, these are your stages where you're trying to find your identity. You don't even know what identity is. You're watching content, you have a phone, you're on Instagram, you're looking at all these celebrities, like, that's so cool. I need you to remember that if you're around these ages, you are a sponge. A sponge to your environment, a sponge to the people that you talk to, a sponge to the things that you absorb through social media. You need to proceed with caution because too much exposure to one thing without you knowing how to process these thoughts, process whatever it is that you're shown, can be very damaging. So here's an example. I'll talk about something a little controversial, and we'll talk about something like someone like Andrew Tate. I think the dude's a great guy. I don't know nothing about him. I don't know anything. I think like as just a man, a powerful warrior. Hey, thumbs up. Has he said things that might have caused people to feel the wrong way? Yeah, I'm not focused on that. But I also see an imbalance. Now, this is given that we don't know the true him. This is given that whatever we say on social media is the truth, which is highly not the case. I doubt that's the case. But on social media, we see a very masculine, aggressive warrior. He's a fighter. He has a desire to fight, the bloodline of a warrior, a desire and an ambition to obtain resource and provide alongside his brother. I mean, these are very masculine warriors. Now, if you're young and you get too much exposure to someone like that without proper processing of what's happening, you may also think that the negative side of whatever they are is good, such as speaking a certain way about women. Now, I am not defending women, nor am I not defending them. I just think there's a proper way to be a human. And I think as a man, you can be the most brutal, dangerous individual and not harm a soul. And not let your ego or your pride infiltrate this space. But instead, what'll happen is you can be a dangerous warrior ready to kill at any given time. And all you have to do is you have to push that aside and say, I choose not to. And I've told the story before about how I believe in the book, The Archetype of Initiation, there was a story about a samurai tasked to kill a woman who had broken the law or done something. And as she's about to be executed, she's crying and she's crying and she's crying. And she's like, please, please have children. And he goes, and he was tasked to torture her, not just murder her, but torture and then kill. He goes, I will make sure that your death is quick. He didn't say, I'll make sure not to kill you. He said, I'm going to follow through with what I have to do, but I have a heart. You will not suffer, but you must prepare to die. I will execute you. And it's symbolic of, I know what I'm capable of, but I'm not a slave to what I'm capable of. And I say this because if you're a young man and you're developing, especially in your teenage years, you need to realize that you are a sponge. You absorb your friends, you absorb what you consume, you absorb this. You are trying to grab bits and pieces of the world, of your environment, of your classmates, of the internet, of people that you see online, and piece together this idea of what it is to be a man. You're trying to piece it all together right here in hopes that you can figure out how to sculpt your own identity. It's great, but you may not be doing it consciously. What does consciously mean? It means you may not be putting effort into doing it. It's happening without you knowing. Day in and day out, here's a piece of information, here's a piece of information. And it adds to your identity. That's why we change. That's why when you were 14, you're not the same as when you're 16. Or when you're 16, you're different than you're 18. And the cycle continues until you die. Again, if you're in your teenage years, you need to be very observant about what you consume and what is shown to you and what you really invest your time in consuming. If you want to be an intellect, then maybe watch intelligent individuals. If you want to be a fighter, maybe watch fighters. But understand there is a balance, and there is this red pill pseudo initiation masculine narcissism that exists on the social media space. You have you have men that are not in touch with what it means to be a man by any means. Someone hurt them at a young age. They felt an immense amount of pain, and they took the aspect of emotion and discarded of it and fully embodied themselves in the aspect of cold, warrior, Spartan. And that is all they know of manhood. They know nothing else. And 99% of their value comes from the watches they have, how angry they can get, their big muscles, how they can beat you up, the car they drive, the house that they have. And that's about it, which is fine. Like, I am 100% sure that dude has more money than me. And he drives a nicer car. And he has the nicer watch. I don't wear jewelry. And I'm 100% sure that he can pick me up. I'm 175 pounds. And if he's anything like 260 and he knows how to fight, I am 100% sure he will send me to the hospital or end my life. And that is okay. Because 24 years of my life, I have not had anyone try to kill me unless I threaten someone first. The likelihood of you being in danger is significantly low unless you search for danger. When I was in Texas and me and all the boys used to go to the clubs, we looked for danger. That's how we got jumped. That's why we had to leave the club. Next thing you know, we got jumped. Next thing you know, we got to run to the car because everyone's grabbing their pistol and we got to drive off. You don't truly run into danger unless you are searching for danger because you have something to prove. And I say all of this because on the internet space, on the social media space, young gentlemen, you can actually be drawn too much to this toxic masculinity. And I need to define it so you know what it is. It is simply a diluted, delusional form of what it means to be a man. A diluted, delusional thought and framework of what it means to be a man. They will teach you something like this. Get money, get the nice car, focus on yourself. Screw women, they're nothing to you, they're meaningless. They're here to serve you. Never do this, use them. And it's like a dark psychology, and there's a reason why it's so attractive to the male psyche, or at least the boy psyche, because it's dark psychology meant to pull you in and say, I know you know this deep in your heart, come here. This is coming from someone that immersed himself in this whole red pill, alpha male movement back in 2019, 2020. Until I realized something. Which is, all you really need to be a man is the ability to kill and not hurt a butterfly. That you are dangerous. Intelligence. Self-awareness and understanding of self and your surroundings and the external world. Not so weak to where you run away from your feelings. Men that don't show their emotions because they're scared of judgment are the same weak men that feel emotions. Feel them. If you want to cry, cry. Congratulations, you're a freaking human. If you don't want to cry, it's because in the back of your head, you assume that there will be negative judgment by other people. They're going to negatively ridicule you and judge you. Because if you are a man, tears falling down your face and crying will not stop you from getting things done. You are just expressing a very frustrated state. It's like anger. How do you express anger? Well, we go run. We work out. We hit the heavy bag. We throw some kicks and elbows. How do we express ambition and motivation? We work. We train. So how do you express a moment of frustration and pent-up aggression and sadness and desperation and hopelessness? You might freaking cry. Everyone's done it before, whether in private or in public. You're not special if you do it in private and fail to do it in public. If you can cry in public, I will give you a fist bump. You are tough. And you definitely don't care about external. You don't care about their validation. You don't care about their judgment. You're a human. And then all you have to do is grow spiritually. And when I say spiritually, you just need to have some kind of concept that you are directly connected to everything that exists in this world. Just create some type of concept. Try to understand that sentence, that you are connected to everything. If you can do those four things, you are going to be golden. Do not feed yourself, young gentlemen, especially in the teenage years, into this toxic red pill that they teach you only get strong, get women, screw women, use women, get Lambos, get Rolex, automobile, get money, and die. What the hell? What? There are aspects of manhood that you need to adopt, and there are aspects of manhood that you can discard of. If you are in your teenage years I need you to spend a significant amount of time learning how you can grow physically. How can you become strong and dangerous? How can you grow intelligently, mentally? How can you cultivate your mind and use it? How can you think on a different level? How can you look inwards and understand yourself as a being, as a creature, as a human? I need you to understand how you can feel emotions. Don't run from them. You are not weak because you cry. You just feel weak because that's what the world has taught you. But if you can cry, shed tears, and still get things done, you are not weak. You have a gift of expression. I'd argue it's the men that refuse to cry that are weak. They feel heartbroken. They feel pain. They feel stress. Now, if you feel it, can you suppress it? Yeah, maybe because you're going to decide if I cry, it's not going to do anything for me. Let me tell you what it does. If you cry, you are letting, it's expression. If you don't, then it's suppression. You suppress the emotion. And I need you to understand 100% that the more emotions that you suppress, the more problems that you avoid, the more painful conversations that you don't want to have. What happens on a long enough time horizon is you will inevitably have all these pent up aggression, pent up emotions. You have aggression, you have sadness, you have joy, you have misery, you have pain, you have anguish, you have anxiety, and it all creates this catastrophe within you. And the bottle pops one day, and you're done for. Don't let it get to the point where it pops, because if you're alone, then you go crazy. If you're around people, then you hurt them. You'll say something mean. They'll do something you regret. Just be careful. I need you to move very, very strategically. So you need to ask yourself, how can you grow physically? How can you grow emotionally? How can you grow mentally and intelligently? And how can you begin to feel some type of connectiveness with all living things? Yeah, I know you're like, what the heck does that mean? I'm in school. You are something, not someone. You are a human. The trees, they walk and they live and they breathe in you. You are the entire universe. You are this world. And you have a strength that if you can look inwards, you will unlock it. And you won't just be this old shaman that's wise and weak. You will be a warrior. You will become the wise warrior. I am telling you this because it took me years to create this balance between all. I was way too weak. Then I said, I need to toughen up. Then I was way too aggressive. Then I had to slow that down and become more intelligent. And I was way too intelligent to where I had too much anxiety. Then I had to lower that down. Then I had to feel connected to create a peace. And then inherently, I created this atmosphere where I can combine all of those things and integrate it into my character, my identity that I still build. So, gentlemen, in teenage years, you have nothing but time. I know you may be worried about the girls and the people at school. I need you to just lock in. Here's my first challenge to you, young men. If you are in school, wear the most ugly, hideous clothes ever. The most hideous. Just do that. Or don't even, okay, if you really care about people's judgment at school, don't wear ugly clothes. Just wear the same things. You don't need to spend money on new clothes. Right? I'm telling you right now, gentlemen, don't make your parents buy you new clothes. If you have money, you don't buy yourself new clothes. Wear the same things. You only need a few pair of black jeans, a few different t-shirts, and you're good. Wear the same shoe for years. I've been wearing the same gym shoes for 3 years now. You don't need new clothes. You don't need it. And you've heard this from your grown-ups, and you've heard this from people, and they will say the same thing, but I hope I can help you understand. They're gonna say high school doesn't matter. You have a whole life to live. And you don't understand because that is the life you're living. Don't worry, I get it. How can you possibly think high school doesn't matter and you have a whole life to live when you're in high school? That is your life right now. So I'm telling you, it does matter. So the decisions you make right now in high school will affect you moving forward. So it does matter. So screw anyone that says it doesn't. I'll be the first one to say it does. So plan and move strategically. Don't try to act like the toughest. Move in silence. No one needs to know anything about you. These are kids that probably won't exist in your life moving forward. You will probably have maximum 5 people, maximum, that you still talk to after 18 years old. Maximum 5. I know in these moments you guys are spending so much time together and you guys see each other 5 days a week and 4 years in the same high school and you think this is your life. I get it. So let's just go with the notion that it is your life, which means you have to move smart. Don't let anyone know anything about you. Don't talk to anybody. Don't try to one up anyone. Just mind your business. If you have the means to, just mind your business and you observe. You observe and you see who's the weak ones, who are the funny ones, who are the insecure ones, who are the losers, who are the winners. You just observe. The ones that try too hard, the ones that don't try at all, the ones that have problems at home, the ones that don't have any problems and are privileged. Pay attention. This is going to be your first introduction to reading people and learning about people and their behaviors. It starts with your ability to be quiet, do your damn work, don't say anything, and watch. Keep your eyes open and just watch. Why is he so loud? He must be trying to get attention. Why is he trying to get attention? Does he not get enough attention? Is he ugly? I mean, he's a little. So does the attention help him deal with his insecurity? Does he know that he's ugly? I need you to watch people like this and ask questions and provide yourself answers. You have 4 to 6 years right now of studying a broad amount of humans, from insecure people to people that have a lot of ego, to people that are prideful, to kids that are stupid, you have so many types of character traits that you can observe right now. And you get to pick and choose. This is where you can shape your identity. Now, I also encourage you, if you want to learn a little bit about the hustle, that in these teenage years, you can probably do something like sell chips at school. Get yourself a couple extra bucks and buy yourself something nice. Screw it. If you're young, buy yourself something nice. Those $60-something that you save really won't really make a difference. You're gonna make the real money once you get past high school and then you join the job force and you hate the job force and you obtain a skill and then you do something with it and you become some magnificent entrepreneur. So don't worry about saving it. Get yourself some nice things. Screw it. You're young, you deserve it. You buy a bag, you go to the store, you get a 30-pack bag of chips for about 15 bucks. You sell each of them for $1. You just made 15 bucks. You do that again, get 100 bucks, buy yourself some shoes, man. Or if you have a hobby like boxing, you use that money to get yourself some gloves. Treat yourself. You're young. Treat yourself. That money really won't make a difference. Not now. Not in the early stages. You're going to build wealth later on. But if you're thinking about building wealth already, that's good. But learn to reward yourself right now so that you can keep chasing that wealth. That's fine. I would encourage you to learn the hustle early. Tell the whole school that you sell chips. Post on Instagram and Facebook and WhatsApp and whatever the heck you guys still use and say, hey guys, what's up? Loaded with chips. Hit me up if you want it. If you text me through Snapchat, I'll give you 2 for the price of 1. Boom, and get rid of them fast. And then restock, get rid of them fast, restock. Guess what? Because kids get allowances. Kids will have money from their parents and they're hungry, and they have no control over their impulses or emotions. So come 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 10:30 and their stomach's growling and you have available food, they will buy it from you. It's kind of like a junkie. Let's think of a crack addict. If crack is unavailable, they'll try their best to find it. And if it's really unavailable and nowhere, they'll just give up. They'll deal with it. Now, if it's available, they'll buy it and they're like, give me. So, a lot of kids are hungry. A lot of kids don't have money. And a lot of kids do have money. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to focus on the kids that have money. How do you know they have money? You don't. Just play this game, which is the more people you tell, the more people that buy. That's the game you're going to play. You're going to assume everyone has money, so you need to tell everyone, hey, you need some chips, man? Hey, you hungry, bro? You need some chips? You hungry, man? You need some chips? Find out if they have money. If they do have money and they don't want to buy, be like, I get it, man. $1 for a bag, it's too much. You look hungry, bro. I got you. I'll give you two. That's cool with you? Make your money, man. Stack it up. Treat yourself. All right, now, obviously during these years, you're going to be obsessed with ladies. You're going to want to party, look cool, all that. I can't stop you from doing that. And I also don't have the influence or the power to convince you that it doesn't matter. The grown-ups try to do it already. Your brothers, your sisters that have graduated, your friends and your family members already tried. And it doesn't make sense. So all I'm going to say is live those years up to the fullest. Try to get as much money as you can by flipping chips, doing stuff, selling your shoes on eBay. I don't know. Don't steal. Just do it the right way through hard work and perseverance. And then live life. If you're going to go out and party, screw it. Go out and party. Do it. These are years where you'll never be young again. I say do it. I had a conversation with an old friend of mine. And this dude, he became an entrepreneur, and right now at the age 24, 25, he has millions of dollars and he's highly successful. And in high school, he was always hustling, always working, always working, always working. He wanted to be a boxer, so he was training at the gym, right? He was at the gym training, and then next thing you know, he started a business and he was doing good. He played football and he was training, hard work, discipline locked in. And here I am, I'm just partying in high school. And then I end up being a nobody and I go to the army because I needed money. And I enlist and I leave the army and I end up working for him. And now I just make content on YouTube. So both our paths and our journeys are different. My journey towards wealth creation was just different than his. But I would ask him, like, hey, would you go back in high school and just, because I would have parties and I would go out and I would want him there with me. And he was just too scared. And I say, would you go back right now and do all those things, even though it might affect where you are now, even though you might not be a business owner, boom, boom. He's like 100%. I was like, you'll trade all this right now for that? He's like 100%. And at that moment, I knew that those years where you're young, you'll never get back. You're going to have the rest of your freaking life to chase wealth and create wealth and get the money. Like you're going to do it the rest of your freaking life, but you're only a kid once. Young men in those years, knock yourself out, have fun, make memories, try not to get yourself killed. No one's going to remember. You'll be just fine. In high school, no one remembers the parties that I threw, the people that I spoke to, the times the girls turned me down. No one remembers. They have their own life now. They have bills to pay. Some of them are pregnant with kids. Some of them got families. They got to go to work. So, my advice, live them up. If you want to capitalize, get some money. Don't be a bother and ask your parents. Find a way to hustle. If you need your parents to front you money for a 30 pack of chips, ask them and say, I will repay you. Treat them like the bank. Get a little taste of the real world. And live your life. There's no need to obsess over the future just yet. Your time will come. And plus, we need to learn how to play the game long. Because when we want to play the game fast, we make impulsive decisions and we can end up losing everything. Now, to all my young gentlemen that are already past high school, graduated, may be working, looking to build your identity, and you may be At a point in life where you are trying to figure it all out and what you want to do, there's a few things that I'm going to tell you to avoid. I can't tell you how to figure out your identity. I can't tell you how to put together your life. I can't tell you how to get rich and wealthy. But all I can tell you are things to avoid so that you can make the process easier. If you avoid these things, you will make it. Step one, avoid chasing women. Now, if I have any ladies that watch me, ladies, I am not trying to be narcissistic or anti feminist. I am just simply giving the young gentlemen some advice. Ladies, you guys are beautiful and lovely. That's why sometimes all we can think about, us gentlemen, all we can think about is you. That's why we want to make sure you're good and propose to you. Get down on one knee and take care of you the rest of your life. You guys are magnificent creatures. You guys are beauty. You guys are the sweetest sound. You guys are angels in the midst of darkness. You guys give us men a place called home. You guys are magnificent. That's why some men at an early age, they don't know how to control this desire and it turns to lust. Instead of something that's beautiful and it's love, it turns to lust, right? That's why young men, you're out at the club every weekend, you're drinking, you're talking to ladies, you're doing what you want is a good girl and you just don't want to be alone and you want a human so that you can call home, a human that's yours, so that you can give yourself to that human. You guys become one. You just don't know it yet. So you think it's lust, you think it's intercourse, you think it's alcohol, take her home, boom, boom, boom. It's not that. Been there, done that. And also, it gives you a sense of ego and pride, like you're the man. The more things you accomplish in your life and the more obstacles you overcome, you'll realize that sleeping with a woman for the sake of pleasure does not make you feel like a man. If anything, it makes you feel disgusting because it's like, damn, I'm stuck in this cycle, in this loop. When all I was doing was sleeping with women and taking them out, I didn't feel like a man. I said, I feel disgusting. Why am I living life in this loop? Work, weekend, work, weekend, work, weekend, work, weekend, woman, 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 take them home, take them home, take them home, work, weekend, date, work, weekend, date, women, women, women. And it was the same thing. And I said, okay, from now on, I am just completely uninterested. And I locked in. And I focused on something that I felt meaningful, on something that I found meaningful. And at the time, I just wanted the power and the respect, and I just wanted the money and prove everyone wrong and have everyone think I was so cool and successful. And because I felt like I was insecure and I had no value. And so I did everything for that, right? I would work so hard just for that one idea, for it all to pay off and have everyone in the city worship me like I was a god, as if that was ever gonna happen. It eventually transitioned to where I just wanted to be able to look in the mirror and know that I was able to do something with my life that took effort. Like as a man, I was able to do something that was relatively difficult. I just wanted to look in the mirror and know I was able to do it. And so I just went. I found the thing that called my name. And the thing that called my name was speaking. Now, I'm not on stage speaking, but I do it through YouTube. I enjoy writing. That's my creative way of expressing myself. I train. I pick up heavy weights. I hit a heavy bag. I throw kicks and elbows. That's my way of staying tapped into the warrior. I read. That's my way of staying tapped into this magician. It's the intellect. I feel. I feel my heart. I feel my emotions. I cry before. I'm not heartless. I'm a human. I feel what humans feel. And at the same time, I'm something that's connected to everything. So I have a space of limitless potential because I'm connected to all. I mean, you create these characters and you fully let them embody you and engulf you. You become magnificent. You become monstrous. You become infinite. But step one, just stop chasing women. Not because they're under you, not because you're so much better, but because they're beautiful creatures. Like they're gorgeous. Their heart, their soul. I mean, some of them can use a little bit of work, right? I mean, I know I'm sure we can identify some ladies that might need a little bit of work. Maybe their soul and their spirit and their heart isn't so sunshine, and maybe they need a little bit of God in them, right? For sake of better word, for lack of a better word. So stay away from women because they are a distraction. Not because you're better than them, not because they're unworthy, not because they can't do anything for you, but because you need time to focus on yourself. And so that means you need to limit distractions. Number two, stop doing drugs. Alcohol, weed, stop. Nicotine, those vapes, stop. Cigarettes, stop. Replace them. It's only hard when you think about it. And this is coming from someone that used to smoke a lot of cigarettes. The only time I ever wanted a cigarette was when I wasn't doing anything. When I started doing something, my brain was focused on the task at hand. It wasn't focused on a cigarette. Anytime I felt like I needed to smoke a cigarette, I'd go exercise. Or I'd go walk. But if I was sitting down watching a YouTube video, oh yeah, man, I'm gonna go get a pack of cigarettes. Always. So stay busy. And the desire to do these drugs, it'll just leave the door. So do not chase women. You need to perfect yourself, young men, so that you can become a man that is truly transformed, so that you can give that man to a deserving woman. A good, beautiful, pure, spirited, lovely soul woman that will give you a spiritual home and will hold you and you can protect her. She's like a precious jewel that you never want the world to hurt. Do not chase. Become better and give that version of yourself to the proper woman when you can identify her. Be on the lookout. I'm not saying I'm not saying close your eyes off to women and be unattracted to them. Keep your eyes out. You're not stupid. You know what good women are. You know what bad women are. You know what girls are. You know what ladies are. You know what grown women are. You know what insecure girls look like and secure. You know what grown and immature looks like. Keep your eye out. If the time presents itself and a grown woman enters your life and is interested in you, and you are on the path of developing yourself, and you can give her a pretty solid version of you, engage and see where it takes you. I am not telling you to close yourself off from partnerships or connection. No, keep it open, but do not make it your main priority. The main priority should be you, but always welcome them. Okay? Welcome the good ones at least. So we got don't chase women, and I told you why. Avoid drugs. I mean, hey, there's nothing that slows you down. If you think that smoking weed helps you work better, you're just trying to escape. You can't stand being sober. You're trying to escape. You're just weak. I don't know what else to tell you. And this is coming from someone that smoked all the time and drunk all the time. And hey, so I get to talk as much smack as I want. I wasn't good. I wasn't better at what I did when I was smoking. I wasn't better at what I did when I was drinking. I was just trying to escape. I couldn't stand being sober. I had a lot of pain and I needed my pain solved. So I would smoke. So I would drink. And there's nothing weaker than that. Learn how to be sober. It's very simple. Or you can just smoke and drink your life away, and next thing you know, you become nothing. It's okay. And plus, when you smoke and drink and you do drugs, the likelihood of you existing in the same pattern significantly increases. Like you'll live the same life over and over on repeat. It's the same pattern, same pattern, same pattern, same emotions, same thoughts. Nothing changes. Now, and plus, it's a liability. You don't need to spend money if you're 18, 19 to let's say 25. These are the years of wealth creation, or at least skill creation. You're either learning a skill or you're building wealth with the skill you already have. You don't need to spend $20 on a dub. You don't need to grab a gram. You don't need the bottle of Tito's. You don't need tequila. You don't need the bottle of Douce. It's okay. You will be just fine. Focus. Next one, gentlemen, get in impeccable shape. We peak at around 30, mid 30s. Get this body prepared. Get it strong. Go to the gym for crying out loud. Yes, go to the gym. Yes, lift some weights. Go run. Don't just be a muscle headed, stiff bodybuilder. Go run. Do box jumps. Push a sled. Join a fight gym. Learn how to get punched in the face. If you like grappling, wrestle. Screw jujitsu. Go wrestle. Like go wrestle. Like like wrestlers have it tough. They're athletic, man. You don't like being on the ground? Hey, boxing is fine. Kickboxing is cool. Learn how to take a punch to the face. I believe every man needs to know how it feels to get punched really hard in the face with some fists. Not some gloves, some fists. At least once. Not to where they shatter a nose, but pretty hard to where like the nose leaks. Because you'll notice you'll be just fine. You're not dead. And you know the feeling. You can memorize the feeling, and so you're less scared if it happens. Or if the possibility of it happening presents itself in the future, you're less scared. So get in immense physical shape. For crying out loud, I would tell you, if you have the means, pick up a fighting hobby. Not so that you can display your dominance and walk around like this egotistical fighter, but because what you can do is you can simply tame this aggression you have. You tame it. Bruce Lee never walked around. And dude, this is Bruce Lee, man. He could kick a 300-pound dude across the yard. This is Bruce Lee we're talking about. I mean, be water. I really like that. And I know he was dangerous. But he didn't need to show it. He was highly intellectual, highly capable. Aggression tamed. The aggression didn't tame him. He tamed the aggression. And so, learn to fight. Learn to use this weapon known as your body. Convert it into a weapon. For the sake of mastering it. That is all. Do these things for the sake of mastering your own body. Next one. Stop watching porn and jacking off. I don't think we need to discuss about why porn is bad for you. You should know this. And I don't think we need to discuss why grabbing your dick, going like this until your kids get spread all over your lap, is bad for you. I think we know that. I mean, if you're gonna do it, just have sex. Honestly. And I'd say if you have this pent up sexual energy and that if you're always horny, hey, the moment you feel it, go do something. Go run. That's what these damn phones do to us. These phones have gotten us so accustomed to getting instant gratification without any type of effort. Even sex has effort. We get gratified as we are putting in effort. Even sex requires some effort. But nowadays we have a screen. We can lay down, grab a hand, go crazy, and we didn't have to put in any type of physical effort. We just had to sit there. Maybe a little bit of bicep work with the right hand or left if you're left-handed. It's not necessary, young gentlemen. And stop counting. Oh my gosh, I haven't beat my dick for 3 days. Why are you counting? So you can tell people how long you lasted before you do it again? Just make it a lifestyle to just not do it. Like, it's not that hard. Just stay busy. If you stay busy, the likelihood of you doing it significantly decreases because you just don't have time and you don't have energy because you're occupied. Which leads me to my next one. Read. Start reading books. Start reading books. Whatever interests you. I'm not talking about these made up books. I'm talking about some good stuff, man. I'm not talking about the self-help personal development books. I'm talking about some things that'll just teach you about life. Here's a great recommendation, and I recommend this all the time. If you trust me and my recommendations, you can pick up King, Warrior, Magician, Lover by Robert Moore. It's a great book. Short read, 160 something pages. Read it. You'll see how much development you need. King, Warrior, Magician, Lover. Check it out. Great book. So I encourage you to read. I encourage you to allocate time towards being alone. And when I say alone, I don't mean on a screen. I don't mean stimulating yourself. Make it a duty to where you give yourself 1 hour to look at a tree and just let your mind go and just sit. Make that a habit. And you will just see, you begin to observe the observer. You'll begin to observe your mind and your brain and see why your brain and your mind behaves the way it does. Make it a habit. 30 minutes, 1 hour. Go look at a tree. These are the years of acquiring a skill. So don't just work a fast food job. Acquire a skill. Get a sales job. I started at a gym and I knew what I wanted. I got the sales job, and I'll tell you why it helped me, because it helped me speak to people, get used to rejection, approach people, which is a skill that I needed, enhance my social skills, not being afraid to start conversations, being able to keep a conversation flowing, being able to take charge and lead a conversation, guide a conversation. I had the ability to influence. That means I had power. I learned a lot of those things. But really, what a sales job did for me was put me into a position to where I was able to get a decent amount of money so I can do what I want to do now, which is trade. I trade options. And I get some questions like, why don't I make videos on trading options? I'm not that good. Like, I am not that good. I haven't even scrapped a million. I promise you guys, when you guys see a video talking about how to get to $1 million, it's because I'm there. I just don't want to talk about anything that I don't think I'm that good at. Once I scratch $1 million through trading, I'll teach you guys. Like, seriously, for free. I don't want you guys to go through what I went through these past 4 years. I got you guys. Just give me some time to get there. Okay? But acquire a skill. It doesn't have to be sales. You can start, if you like, if you want to get into trading, learn about the market. Learn. It's not gambling. It's the real thing, man. Wealth is created here, baby. Learn about tax structures. Learn about the dollar. Learn about what fiat currency is. Learn about what money really is. Learn about where you can put your money. Learn about what candlestick patterns are, candlestick charts. Learn how to read patterns. Learn how to understand market psychology. End up losing money. Hey, if you decide on being a trader, you're gonna lose money. I think I lost 35 to like 40,000 before I actually started making money. Oh yeah, and those were tough days, man. Those were tough days, and it all happened because of greed. I didn't know how to control myself. I didn't know how to control my psychology. I saw money, didn't take it, wanted more. Next thing you know, lost money. It's the same cycles. It's taught. Everyone teaches you the same thing, and no one gets it because they have to experience themselves to get it. But if you can be someone that can listen, then you win. It goes, I'm going to butcher this quote, but it goes, a stupid person makes a mistake and doesn't learn. A smart person makes a mistake and learns. A wise person learns from the mistakes of others and learns to avoid those things. I know I butchered it, but what I'm trying to say is whatever you want to do, figure out what to avoid. Let's find out what people's failures are. Listen to people's documentaries, listen to like all the things that held them back, and really take it into consideration. There's a reason why it caused them to fail. Be it a relationship, be it a bad marriage, be it an addiction, drugs, whatever it is or whatever it may be, it's the thing that caused them to fail. So it's in your best interest to avoid it at all costs. And by doing that, it will just help you in the long run. Okay? Once you obtain a skill, I encourage you to either one, work until your hands fall off, or find a way to get money without working. I didn't like number one. I chose number two. I said I'm going to find a way to get money without working. And when I say work, I mean hard labor. Trading is my way. I found that. Now it still takes work, man. Just not the type of work that it would take to start a business. I look at a screen, I study, I backtest, I spend a couple hours doing it. I read the news. I control my emotions. Done. So I found my path. It might take you some time to find your path, but to find your path, you have to set your definite aim on something. And I encourage you to know exactly what you want, how you want it, when you want it by. And you don't need this plan fully structured. It can be loosely put together as long as you have aim and you will do anything to get there. And you have to use what you have. I don't know if you're broke. I don't know if you're living with your aunt, with your uncle. Just use what you have at your disposal. Use it. You have all these things for you to use. You have your aunt for you to use. Someone can give you a couch to sleep on. Go with no fear. If you're in your early 20s, you can mess up so many times and go broke so many times and recover and still be okay. I did that. I went broke so many times. I recovered. I was okay. No one gave a fuck about me when I was going to these jobs and asking to work again, even though I failed and everyone knew me. No one cares. They have their own lives to worry about. They don't have time to think about you. So if you're gonna get a bunch of money and you want to build wealth, find a skill. If you want to start a business, prepare to work until your hands fall off. If you don't like the idea of work, get so good at learning where to place your money to get a significant return. Now, with that being said, learn how to play the game long. I know that you want the Ferrari by next year. I know you want it by 2 years, but just let's rephrase it and say, I want the Ferrari by 10 years. So now, if you play the game by 10 years, you can make more strategic moves. And you're like, okay, well, I don't have to do that right now. That's too impulsive. I might lose everything. If I do this and let it compound every single day, in 10 years, I'll have that Ferrari. Hey, if you're 20, in 10 years, you'll be 30, dude. Men, we reach our prime at like mid 30s, going on early 40s. I'm 24. We're all kids. So keep that in mind as you're building your wealth, gentlemen. Keep that in mind as you're winning. Keep that in mind as you scale. Just keep that in mind. Okay? You have a long way to go. And throughout this process, throughout this journey, the only person that will ever hold you back is yourself. Not your mother, your father, your lack of resources, your environment, the house or the neighborhood you grew up in, your homies. I don't care. It all boils down to you. Become a good man that will raise good children one day. Help this world become better. Screw the whole Lamborghini, Ferrari, $1 million mansion, bunch of naked girls on a yacht dream. Screw that. Have the dream to make this world better than it actually is. Have a vision for this world, for this earth, for your children and their children's children. Make this world a little better. Be brutal. See your potential. Become strong, become intelligent, become loving, and be connected through all. Be connected with God. And you do those things and you will become a magnificent leader, a magnificent role model for the next generation that needs it. It's very humbling that some of you younger gentlemen admire me, even though I am not the poster perfect man. I'm still building my damn self. But whatever I can do to help you make your journey easier, I will do that. And I promise when I get to a certain amount of money, I will show you how to get it, just like I did, so that you don't have to go through the hardships I went through. I promise. I owe that to you. Just be patient with me. Let me build the wealth. At the end of all of it, just try to help people. You don't just need to look out for your own kind. Don't just help men and younger men. And there's a world of hurt out here. There are men and women that need it. If you are younger than me, I'm 24, then you are the next ones coming up. And I am younger than anyone that's 26, 28. I came up after them. And it's our job as men to just Learn and become better and teach it to someone else. It's our job, it's our duty. And so we must. Whatever you do, you don't stop. And don't be so blinded by what you may think matters. Screw the money, screw all that. Get it? Yeah, get it. It'll be fun as you get it, cool. But if you're gonna die one day and all that money will be redistributed back to the world, then just do the same thing now. Just distribute that wealth, that knowledge to the world now. Because you can't take it with you. And you got your whole life to figure it out. Young gentlemen, don't be too hard on yourself, man. The world holds us to a very high standard. It's okay. It's our job not to complain about the game. It's our job to be really good players. If the world holds us to extremely high standards, good. We just say, can't wait for the challenge. And then we go. Good luck out there. You are literally the beacon of hope for people that need it. Good luck. I'm rooting for you. It's a big, big, big mission to fulfill. But if not you, if not us, then who? Take care of yourself. That's all I got.